Hello everyone, so let us now see or learn how we can draw lines in AutoCAD. So there are various ways in how to draw lines in AutoCAD depending on what you need to do. So the first of these ways is to go to the ribbon, and then on the far left side you have here line. Then if you click on that button, then you can now go to the graphics window, anywhere in the graphics window, and then click anywhere, left click, then for the first point, and then left click anywhere again where you want the next point to go, and there you have it, a line. Okay, then press enter to end. Okay, so there you have it, your line. Okay, so if you want to draw more and connect it, so just click on that again, and then click anywhere. Then you can also go back there to make a polygon, then press enter. Okay, so you have lines right here. Okay, which is very nice. Okay, so now what if you were asked to draw uh, figures, let's say for example, this rectangle right here, with specifications. We have here specific dimensions. We have 100 as the length and 50 as the width. Okay, so how do we draw it? As you can see, if I draw a line here using the method that we just learned, as you can see, I have no indication of whether my line is already 100, right? 100 units or 50. And I can't even see if it's already perfectly horizontal, right? Okay, so there are various ways in order to do this. The first way is using the absolute coordinates. So as you can see here, whenever I move my cursor, uh, look here in the near the status bar, there are coordinates. Okay, so these are the absolute coordinates of the this particular coordinate plane, right? So you can input points of the line using these absolute coordinates. So how do we do that? So we can do that using the command line. Okay, so we have to set up the environment first in order for this to work. So if you go to the far right side, bottom right, you'll see here a customization button. If you click that, you will see that there are many options. Okay, so we need to click dynamic input. So what is dynamic input? So we will see later. So if you click that, as you can see, there is this button added here. So try to watch this button if I unclick it. So if I unclick it, it disappears. So what this tab essentially does is it decides what appears on the status bar. Okay, so if I click that, the dynamic input button appears here. So if it appears there, does not necessarily mean that it is turned on or off. Okay, so if I turn it on, if I press line again, as you can see here, we now have on the cursor, we have uh, is displayed here the coordinates, right? The coordinates are displayed here in the cursor. Okay, so if we unclick this dynamic input, it disappears. Okay, so we will use this later. We will use this dynamic input as a way to draw this particular rectangle. So, but for now, we will turn it off first because we can also accomplish this task by using the command line. Okay, so take note that the dynamic input should be off. Okay, off. Okay, so let's now go to the command line. Okay, now go to the command line and then input line. Okay, line. Okay, so as you can see, there are options here that popped up once I type line. So line, if I press that, it asks me to specify the first point. Okay, so it's worth noting that it's the same thing as clicking it on the ribbon. It's the same function. It's just that you also have an option to activate this line drawing function in the command line. Okay, so let's type line. Okay, so we need to specify the first point. So in using absolute coordinates, you need to specify the coordinates right here in the command line. So where do you want the first point to be? Let's say we want it to be in 100, 100. Okay, x is 100 and the y is 100. So where would that be? If I press enter here, okay, it appears. So we have here our first point on that has coordinates 100 and 100. Okay, so how do we draw a length, a side of this rectangle that is horizontal and that has a length of 100? Okay, so how do you do that? So you just type in here again. So as you can see in the command line, it says specify next point, right? So we just input an x value of 200, right? Because we already have 100 100 as our origin. Okay, so we add 100 again to the x. Okay, so 100, 200, and then our y, in order for the line to be horizontal, it should have the same level as it should have the same y as our first point. So we need to put 100 there. Okay, so if I press enter, as you can see, it automatically puts there 100, a line with length of 100 and is horizontal. Okay, so it's just a matter of determining the coordinates, okay, relative to your origin. Okay, so let's now finish this rectangle. So what should be the coordinates of the next point? The coordinates of the next point should be 50, right? 50 upwards. So the x should be the same. So let's say 200, because you will not be moving in the x direction. Then comma, we need our original y is 100, so 150, right? Okay, so now we have here. So it's pretty straight. And then for the third point, we go back to the left. Okay, so how do we do that? Of course, we need to use the coordinates. So 100, right? Because the x coordinate of this point is 100. Okay, so let's go back to 100. And then the y should be plus 50. So 150, right? So the y of this point is the original point is 100. So we need to situate our point here. So we need 150. Okay, 150. Okay, so we have it. So now that we're back here. You can close your polygon by clicking the original point. But you can also do that in the command line. So let's just go back to 100 and 100. Okay, so we have, if I press enter again, we have here the same rectangle with the same dimensions. Okay, so if we put dimensions on it, let's check if it is really 100. So it is indeed 100. Okay, it's indeed 100. Okay, very nice. So let's explore other ways in order to do this.